who heads chemistry department. Dr. Nidhi Gaur, she is coordinator of this Gujco's sponsored webinar. So I also welcome all the entire audience and my faculty members, my colleagues who are actually watching this through Zoom and through Facebook too. So quickly, I just want to set the instructions for the audience. Those who are having any queries, please drop in your queries in the Q&A box or in the chat box. We'll be handling it at the end of this session once Himanshu sir is through with his address. And quickly, I hand over the charge to Abhinand Pandya sir to set the context of this webinar. Over to Abhinand sir.
Yeah, thank you, Namrata, for giving a short brief about the seminar. On behalf of Indrashil University, the President, the Chairman, and our Vice Chancellor, I foremost welcome Himanshu Pandya sir to address us, because in Life Science University, Indrashil University is the foremost in the era, and his words makes a lot of sense for a university like us. And also I would like to thank Gujcoast, specifically Dr. Narotam Sahuji and Mr. Harit Shukla, to give us an opportunity to organize such a webinar to train this brain in science and technology, which are the kids are there in this COVID time. If you look at it, the 2020 is going to head end, and we are going to find a vaccine. You know, in terms of biology, it's a big achievement. And India is at the foremost of vaccine and pharmaceutical land. It's a mecca of pharma world. And in this COVID time, we are going through this seminar, or may say the webinar, on life science, and also on terms of new opportunities, which Himanshu Pandya sir is going to tell. Without taking much of a time, I welcome you all, and thank you, Gujcoast, for giving us an opportunity. I will hand over to Amish Vyas sir to give a brief introduction about Himanshu Pandya ji. Thank you.
Vyas sir, unmute yourself.
Yes, I would like to welcome Dr. Himanshu Pandya, Vice Chancellor of Gujarat University. Very eminent personality and very enthusiastic, vibrant person, dynamic person. Dr. Pandya is an MSc PhD botany and areas of specialization in vivo and in vitro studies on physiological and biochemical parameters on gladiolus, chrysanthemum, and lily. He is presently working as a professor, Department of Botany, School of Sciences, Gujarat University. Also worked as coordinator, UGC coaching for NET, SLAT examination, and central examination.
Sir, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Sir, not to forget, it is your modesty once again, sir. But we cannot resist telling that because of your experience and your knowledge in botany, we have you as our academic council member also. So it is,
sir, it is a very rare combination. It is a very rare combination where you can find out one good academician and also one good administrator. So you are a combination of that. It is a very rare combination.
Thank you very much for all your wishes, and I take it directly to my heart. Thank you,
sir.
Thank you so much.
Sir, the spotlight now is on you.
Thank you. Thank you. Respected panelists and friends, those who are attending this webinar. Today, I requested the university to have a topic on indigenization of Indian minds. Our Honorable Prime Minister, who is a world leader now, and people know him for his statements and his policy. When you say Atmanirbhar Bharat, Startup India, Stand Up India, Digital India, Clean and Green India, each and every slogan matters a lot for all civilians in the state of India. Atmanirbhar Bharat, what do you mean by Atmanirbhar Bharat? Self-reliance means you understand your capacity, you understand your responsibilities, and simultaneously you understand the opportunities available to you. Friends, it's very easy to say that I am a self-reliant person or I am a self-made person. But when you try to analyze the thing, there are so many support available to you in your lifetime, including your parents, your society, your academic system, and the governance and whatnot. We are always protected by law and our constitution. That is again a big support to us. But looking at the overall picture, when you say self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, how we are going to achieve this particular part? First and foremost task for all of us, because 65% of this country's population is a young population. That means these people are bubbling with energy, resources, and sort of ideas. What we are supposed to do as a system is to provide them a platform. But when you talk to youngsters, they are clueless. If you say you are a gold medalist in a particular stream, but whether you are employable or not, it's a big question. Why it is happening? Because the courses what we are selecting, it is dependent on the groups what we believe. To me, if you really want to become self-sufficient or self-reliant, you have to have a big picture in your mind where you are going to develop yourself as an identity or as an entity. And it's not different from your country's identity. Let me tell you, all these developed, so-called developed countries, they have developed themselves in research and developmental activities, in infrastructure, in policy making, in governance. Why is it so? Because the civilians in this particular country, they are contributing in a way, the practices in these countries are being admired by the other people. When I say understanding of capacity, I tell you, it is the same youth and the merit which work for different countries and they exhibit their extraordinary skills and contribution to the foreign nationals. And they are doing wonders, I tell you. If you look at the Facebook, if you look at the Google, Microsoft, all these big IT companies, all the Silicon Valley in California, they are flooded with Indians. And they are, if you check any of this laboratory, you will find one Japanese, one Chinese, and one Indian in each and every laboratory. What does it mean? That the talent what we have here in this country, it is not utilized, or they are not being projected to a level where what they are supposed to. I really admire and appreciate the policy of Atmanirbhar Bharat, where each and every sector is being considered as a service industry. Whether it's agriculture sector, it's a corporation sector, it's an insurance sector, it's a business sector, healthcare, nutrition, space science, whatnot. This is the country who have a capability to have 100 satellites in a single launch to the atmospheric environment. We have this level of capacity available with our scientists and our institutions. Then what we are lacking? To me, there are three things. One, this is really very important what I am sharing it with you, because what I understand, whatever I understand at the age of 50, if you can understand at the age of 20, you can save your 30 years. It's a simple equation. You need to understand the capacity within you. This is the first and foremost requirement to become Atmanirbhar, self-reliant. You can do this and you will do this. But then how? It's not only the slogan what you are talking about. I tell you, you need to understand the capacity within you. And how is it possible? You don't need to compare yourself with anybody else. I tell you, we are selecting our subject and our faculty because my friend is going for such faculty. My family is looking for this particular discipline, and that's how I am going to study this discipline. We need to change the temperament of working and our learning processes. Then and then we can be a self-reliant or self-sufficient individuals. I tell you, there is one example that if you are an elephant, you are supposed to be Airavat. हमारे शास्त्रों में लिखा है कि अगर आप वृक्ष है तो आपको कल्प वृक्ष होना है, अगर आप हाथी है तो आपको ऐरावत होना है, अगर आप गाय है तो आपको कामधेनु होना है. हर एक को अपनी कैपेसिटी में एक्सेलेंस पे जाना है. And how you will achieve this position? See, this is not a preaching class. I don't want to share anything religious talk here. And I'm not here for that awakening, right? I'm talking to you as a researcher, as an investigator in the laboratory. If I have some protocols in my mind, I have to take some references with me, and that will help me out how to process my methodology. But then when I reach to that experiment, at the result and discussion part, I have to apply my own theories, my own understanding, and that's how I'll be able to innovate something. I'll be able to add something new to the available literature and the references. So always have something new, some novelty in your experiment. We are generally working for our research, but when you include sort of innovation, some novelty, some sort of new practices, what we are doing in our ordinary research and experimentation, that would add value to your propositions. When you go for the interview, people ask you that, what do you know about a particular subject? They never ask you that, okay, if you are talking about so and so topic, so you talk everything about that topic. They ask you what you understand by mentioning a particular topic. What does it mean? It means when you mention that I am through with this particular topic, that means you should be through with that particular topic. And I tell you, one topic is enough for a lifetime. This age is the age where a software designer, an engineer, a doctor, a philosopher, a thinker, and a funding agency, everybody will sit together and they will frame a product. If you are working in silo, you are never going to perform and you are never going to deliver. Cases are very rare where people are working in silo and they are doing excellent in their research and innovation. When we are living in a world where a 17-year boy is working for identification of mines in the battlefield, when a 20-year girl is working for her social media platform, and within 2-3 years, these guys are becoming a multi-million-dollar enterprises. This is the change, what we are facing now across the country. Our academic institutions need to tie up their laces. They need to understand the futuristic requirement of the students and youth of this country. When you say, I'm in the classroom and I'm teaching replication, before you write the spelling of replication, they will show you the video. You know, we need to understand the requirement of the students and the current understanding and learning processes, and then we'll be able to deliver something. When you talk of Atmanirbhar Bharat, we need to be Atmanirbhar in the field of agriculture. Let me give you an example. When a farmer is soaking seeds in the field, right, then they need post-harvest technology to have a good yield out of that particular crop. When they harvest the crop, they need to understand the market value before they harvest. They need to understand where I can sell my product. So the management part would be there. When they are working with their agriculture practices, they need to understand the modern technology available to them to have the maximum yield out of this seeds. So scientific approach, then the management part, again the inventory part comes in picture. In which country there is a demand of so-called crop, what you have grown in your fields, what is the size of your seed, what is the size of your fruit, how much is the nutrition value available in your food, all sort of inventory. It is coming to one point, right? And it is happening why? Because each and every sector is working in a coordination. When you sell out your product, again you need to store them in a proper environment. So again the engineering field would come in picture. So that's how, if an agriculture based economy, health and hygiene based economy, our nutrition part, our business part, our industrial explorations, our scientific research and developmental activities, if everything is tuned up in a way, in a line, and then we'll be able to make Atmanirbhar Bharat. And for all this sector, we need experts. It's not the thing that only management people will sit and they will develop something like a Cambridge or Oxford kind of a setup, and they will be able to deal with the businesses or agricultural produces in India. No, we have to have our own equation to address and to deal with our own requirements. And for that, indigenization of Indian mind is very important. I tell you, we get impressed with the foreign establishments and their practices. But in this pandemic, it has shown the world that no matter what you talk about the hygiene and the healthy practices, but it doesn't help them. The highest mortality ratio is there in these so-called developed countries. And we are lucky to have a good administrator at the center and the state. They have decided certain protocols, and timely decision helped us a lot, and we can restrict the mortality ratio in this country, right? So if you are sensible enough and sensitive enough about the happenings around you, you will be inspired to work on something what you are supposed to work for. Friends, time is running out. People are dying on the street. We don't have answers and remedies about this, right? Just 2 years back, there was a swine flu. Before 4 years, there was a bird flu and Kenyan Congo fever. Before 4 years, there was Ebola. In every part of country, these things are happening. And you know, one virus can challenge all your literature, all your references, all your publications, and all your books and knowledge which is available to you. The fact is, today we don't have any answer about this pandemic, how to deal it. Who says that the mask can restrict the infection of corona? Who says that this particular use of sanitization would restrict corona entering in your body? Is there any paper? Is there any results or any sort of investigation available to you? But we have to. We are bound to do this. Why? Because the experimentation, what is going on, they are supporting the kind of practices. But that is not the only solution available to you. You have to think beyond the sanitization and mask, beyond the vaccine, and beyond the healthy practices. And that is what we call as a habit. And when you make habit to this sort of explorations and to live the life, I think we can avoid many of these contagious diseases, and we can deal with the good and healthy life. See, it's very easy to give lecture on a particular topic, but when you are talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, we need to take care of so many things. Like I tell you, we have states where different language is spoken. We have a different attire to wear. We have different religious practices. We have different education platforms available to us. So we are living in a state where each and every sector is having the highest diversity. And to have one particular rule and regulation to observe, it is very difficult. So in a state like Gujarat, where we are majority of the land is rainfall dependent agriculture. If you go to Punjab, then they have irrigation practices because they have a very good canal network available with them, right? So if you try to develop one single policy to address all these issues, it will be very difficult. So the fabric and the structure what we are having to manage all these practices is to have a distribution of policy and activities district wise, state wise, and then district wise. So that will help us a lot in understanding the local requirement. Centralized policies are good because they are managed and framed at central level, but then as far as the implementation part is concerned, they are implemented and addressed at the local level. So keeping the central requirement in mind, you have local understanding and the implementation that is helping us, and that helped us in this health sector, and that's how we can restrict corona in a very big way in this pandemic. So when I say Indianization of Indian minds, what does it mean? It means that we need to understand our own capacity first. We endorse the thing which is available in foreign markets. We endorse the thing which is packed in a very nice package. But if you check the quality of that product, it is always questionable. We are being forced to buy certain things by sort of advertisement and marketing and whatnot. The false neediness is being created by all this adverse propaganda. If somebody says, I may sound something different, but let me give you this example. This is really important. If I say that Hulk is there, then you obviously believe, yeah, Hulk is there because you have that representation. If I say Spider-Man is there, then you understand it very nicely, very nicely. But when I say Hanumanji was there, then you will say you are talking religious. So it is not acceptable to us and you are a religious person. Is there any character like Spider-Man? But we believe, we take tickets and we spend multi-billion dollars, and that movie is fetching, millions and millions of dollars out of your country. So just few months back, when our Honorable Prime Minister spoke about the toy making industry, we all surprised that, oh, this is such a big industry and we don't have any idea. I tell you, we don't have any idea. In a district like Morbi, we are producing 200 crore worth toys every year. 200 crore rupees worth toys every year is produced from Morbi itself. Can you imagine the capacity? Now you imagine that if you have our indigenous practices, if you have our indigenous characterization of each and every scripts and literature what we have, we need to make it popular. We need to understand the value of that product. Even this with this Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign, this year only Diwali, and even in this pandemic, the farmers, those who are growing the mango and chiku and dadam, they are having bumper crop despite of this corona, and they are being sold by the network farming sort of practices where inventory is maintained by the Gujpro company by government of Gujarat, and they earn more than 300 crore in 3 months, and that money is directly distributed to the farmers. Now you just imagine that multi-million dollar industry is at your doorstep. What you need to understand is how it is happening, how I can channelize my energy and expertise to that particular topic, and how I can earn out of my expertise and my contribution. So if we have the chain of all this, conceptualization, development of a prototype, out of prototype, development of a product, marketing and analysis of the product, selling of product, again internationalization of that product, and everything. This Spider-Man is bombarded to your mind like that. For this, what was that movie? It was very famous. With broom only you can fly. Harry Potter. Yeah, Harry Potter. Yeah. So they make it so popular that broom. If our Indian maker or sort of scientists, if they have introduced this broom, we would never accept this. But when it is coming from the foreign country or somebody else, those who are not belong to India, then it is acceptable to us. So first we need to understand, and we need to, eradicate all this supremacy from our minds, because these scientists, these are the investigators. They are working excellently and they are fetching multi-million dollars for the foreign nationals sitting in the foreign country. They are the same Indians, I tell you. They are the same local people working for those companies. Can you imagine that we are within no time, within 2-3 years, we'll be competing China for toy manufacture, I tell you, because the policy is being framed by the central government. It is accepted in principle by all the state governments. So the work is done. Opportunities are enormous, and in a speed what this government is working, I tell you, every system, they need to coordinate and cooperate with the policy. Otherwise, you will be left out. There won't be any damage to the implementation of this policy. That I can assure you, because we have plenty of individuals available to work and to contribute something for this, right? But if you are not contributing, then you will be left out. I tell you, it is not going to harm the system or country at all. But if you really want to do something, we always complain that we don't find opportunity to contribute and to deliver something. Now, this is the opportunity in the name of Atmanirbhar Bharat, where you can contribute whatever skills and expertise you are having in your minds. You just come to the institutions like Industrial University, Gujarat University, iHub, Student Startup and Innovation Policy, where people are giving you all sort of mentorship. If you are looking for establishment of company, it is free. If you are looking for IPR and its registration, it is free. If you want mentor to develop and refine your product and idea, it is free. If you want to have, marketing idea and its survey, it is freely available to you. If you are looking for funds, up to 10 crore fund is available to you. So what you are waiting for? If you have some novelty, some sort of innovation in your mind, just rush to this institution and they'll be more than happy to attend you. I tell you, in this particular state, Gujarat, last 3 years, out of this startup practices, when our Honorable Prime Minister announced Startup India, Stand-up India policy, since then, today, we have more than 12,000 startup, established, registered startup available in the state of Gujarat. And they are, having very promising products with them. Now we have reached to a level where we are starting marketing of these particular products. So please understand the requirement of the society. Please understand the requirement of the system, and please understand your own requirements, how you want to grow future and how you want to contribute to the growth of this great nation. That is up to you. Opportunities are enormous. Every platform is there to help you out and to support you. I tell you, if you are looking for the funds up to 50 crore, 100 crore, people are there to help you out. So now you cannot blame the system or the government or your academic institution that they are not providing you enough support or platforms. Now you have to perform, you have to exhibit your capacities, and with this particular individual capacity, how you can contribute to the society and country ultimately. Friends, there are a lot of things to discuss. If we, will start talking on 1, 2, 3, 4, then it's endless discussion. Rather than, preaching you or teaching you all these things, this is, it's not of, advisable. So I would request Dr. Namrata to open a session, question answer session, where can I answer few questions what students are having in their minds. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You see, it was instigating each and everyone that yes, there is immense scope. when it comes to secondary sector, especially manufacturing and production, which you have hinted upon, because we have already agriculture in place. And before I, take up any questions, if there is any reflections from Abhinand sir or Bharti madam, then they can, before I take up questions. Abhinand sir, unmute yourself, sir. Abhinand sir, yeah.
No, I think Himanshu Bhai has very well articulated everything under Atmanirbhar Bharat, the PM's vision, and what kind of funds is available, and how the Gujarat ecosystem is being developed. Because he is at the forefront of Gujarat University's incubation center, and he has been driving all those incubation centers. So he has very well articulated the thing.
True, sir. True, sir. Yeah. Coming to the first question, sir. Sir, there is one Hardik Mehta. He's Professor Hardik Mehta from Let's Lean Academy. From that, what to do, sir, in this time? Because some people, people's mind is divert out of India. I mean, they are more focused for abroad, and they do not believe in Indian brand and company. So my question is how to convey and control for this type of mentality.
I can give you one example for this. Right now, everybody is using one platform, that is WhatsApp, right? And it is so popular that people are communicating through that platform only. But do you know there is a platform called Signal? Your WhatsApp call can be recorded. They can be traced out. They can be, your location is being traced out, and what you are talking, it is being recorded by that particular agency. But Signal is a platform which is developed by our local people. Now you just understand, this is what is, Indianization of Indian minds. We need to understand our own capacity. We have sort of individuals available. I tell you, right now in the team of Tesla, there are 13 scientists working for different aspects. Out of these 13, 5 are from India. Now the only thing what we are lacking is we are not providing them enough platform to work independently to deliver something as per the expectations. Now the question what Professor Hardik asked me is how to restrict our talent to go away from country.
Not only that, sir, how to convince Indian minds also to take pride in Indian goods and products also.
It is happening. It is happening, I tell you. I gave you an example that this year, our farmers, they did not export quality mangoes to foreign countries. They just sell it to the locals and they earn the same money what they are selling it international market. Now I can give you one more example. In this Diwali time, people go for the earthen pots and earthen diyas, right? So rather than the electronics diya which was sold by the Chinese companies, right? So it was so beneficial to the local people that now they are coming up with new sort of products. Even during the Ganpati time, this time the Ganpati made up of soil was so popular. So people avoided that plaster of Paris Ganpati. So likewise, we have brands available in India which are really promising. They are trustworthy and they have excellent products with them. So as far as the workmanship is concerned, as far as the quality of the product is concerned, now we are evolving with our own practices, and that is helping us out as a brand or as an entity. Like what China did, they have never focused on their education. They have never focused on their agriculture. They have never focused on their establishments or health or hygiene of their civilians. What they did a big production houses and processor houses in every district. We people are always engaged in the religious beliefs and what state we are living and what language we are speaking and what university I have studied with. So if you really want to evolve with the idea, if you really want to evolve with the excellence, you have to have everybody in loop. and with coordination. जैसे हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते हैं सबका साथ सबका विकास. ये कोई ordinary slogan नहीं है. We take it as a political slogan, but this is not a political slogan, I tell you. This is the movement. And if we can understand the movement, then and then we can do something different. So coming back to the question, I tell you, so we have many promising brands, I tell you. Like if you take Aditya Birla Group, if you take Reliance, if you take Tata, they are world leaders in production. Now, if Tata is acquiring Jaguar, then we say, oh, it's one company only who acquires the foreign companies. Right? But we have at least, 2,000 examples where we are now having, like Cadila. Cadila, they acquired Zydus. Now, we have many companies like that. Now they are being acquired by the Indian nationals and Indian companies. Why? Because we have that strong support system with us now. Our financial policies are like that. Our industrial policies are like that, and which are supporting the multi-million-dollar business here in India only, right? So we are also delivering with the promising products and quality products with affordable prices, and it is available. That's how, it was my first sentence when I started this talk, that we need to understand our own capacity. We need to believe in ourselves, and then we'll be able to understand the worth of being in India and learning in India and delivering in India.
Thank you, sir. I think Professor Hardik might have got his answer also. And the catch behind the entire thing was that we have to start trusting our own brand as well, capacity building, as you said, rightly said, sir. And now moving on to the next question with your permission. Yeah, this is actually a question from Bhavya Raval. Do we implement the Indian culture in the service sector? Because we are more inclined to service sector, tertiary sector. So that is a question, can we bring in, Indian culture to the service sector?
This is a wonderful question, I tell you. I can speak half an hour on this. What Britisher did with us? They introduced this word of clerk, an officer, and a boss sort of a thing. It was never practiced in our culture, in our Indian culture. Each and every individual, those who are contributing, suppose somebody is cleaning your house, that doesn't mean that she should be called sweeper, right? Or if somebody is helping with your desk activities, so you cannot label them clerks. If somebody is having a facility, company facility of a car and a chauffeur and a big office, you cannot call them a boss or a CMD or a CEO, right? So sort of designation has created a divide in our working pattern. So what is good with this particular foreign nations, if you can see, you can call your boss with his first name and they don't feel it bad. These designations and sort of discrimination and classification is leading to a situation where each and every post is being questioned in a big way. So to me, if you can eradicate all this designation, that if I am a vice chancellor, I should be respected the highest, I don't believe it. If you have that capacity to work for the society and your fraternity, then you should be earn that respect, right? So respect comes from within, not with the designation. So likewise, if you really want to instill some Indian values in the practices, what do you mean by Indian values? See, Indianization is not limited to the boundaries. Our Sanskritik Bharat is extended to the every corner of this globe. You will find each and every corner, you will find one Indian is there. You go any corner of this world, you will find one Indian family is there. Either we are dealing with the business, we are settled down for years there, generations there. So our Indianization is already there. That Sanskritik Bharat is already available. But we hardly recognize that Sanskritik Bharat. When you go abroad, within 1 or 2 years, you feel that you need to go back to your original country. What does it mean? That you are deeply rooted in your values, but we hardly accept with the sort of training what we are getting as a academician, as a graduate, as a postgraduate, as a manager. So that is Indian value. If you can understand your learning and your processes then and then you can contribute something back to your country. So Indianization is nothing but to understand what is exactly my learning and what is the worth of my life on this earth. That was the crux of the Indianization, that I'm here to coordinate and to be in a network with the nature. I'm not here to create my own world. I'm just a unit which is fixing to the available nature. I am fixing myself. I am putting myself to the available things. That is our role. That is our duty. Rather than that, what we create a circle of interested people around us, and we feel very good having that cluster around us. But I tell you, if you are a Kashmiri, if you are a UPite, or if you are a Gujarati, if you are a Bengali, it doesn't matter. We are Indian, and we are bound by the constitution and the practices of this country. So if you really want to bring the Indianization to the practices, you need to understand first what is India. India, that doesn't mean you wake up early in the morning and you worship God. Again, you go to the bath and this and that. These are all sort of virtues what we are doing. It's only the process is what we are doing. It is again essential, I tell you. I'm not against anything, but the heart of believing is missing. And if you really want to instill this particular part in every Indian, we need to understand what is India first.
Thank you so much, sir. What I can gather from this beyond the person who has asked this question, that is Bhavya, is so dignity of labor is the one which we should respect for. कि कोई काम छोटा नहीं, कोई बड़ा नहीं है, irrespective of the position. That is what the underlying message was there in your answer, sir. And that is what the new national education policy also says, so that we have to work with synergy, and which is why Indrashil University has taken help of the established university like Gujarat University and one emerging university have come together to share this knowledge and expertise with the students. Coming to the next question, sir. This is a question from Paulomi Sen Gupta, that, sir, how does a fresh PG chemistry or a biology student can start his or her startup? Because normally we feel that it's only the engineering or students with MBA management background can kickstart their startups, and they are given more preference. So if a person is from PG chemistry or biology, how can they start?
I can give you an example. You rightly ignited one important point of NEP, and being a part of this implementation committee for task force to implement national education policy in the state of Gujarat, I tell you how a biology or a chemistry student can initiate a startup. Let me clear you the definition of startup first. If you have any sort of novelty, so I give you an example. We are every day traveling through our Ahmedabad Municipal Transport Service bus, right? If you have traveled foreign countries, you must have seen that when bus stops, the first paddle, it comes down to the height of the passenger. The floor is very high, but the floor comes down at the height of the passenger. Now, the floor of the bus is very common. Everywhere, every country you go, it is same. But the technology which brings down the floor so that passenger can easily climb the bus, that is something innovation. Now it is available in foreign countries, but it is not available in India. So what to do? If you can incorporate some new idea to this particular technology, it's not only copying or replicating the idea, some sort of novelty. Now what you can do here is, if you can add some novelty to this idea, how you can add some novelty to this idea? See, that floor is only coming down. If you can add that it can prolong to the passenger, that can be done, said that is new novelty. If you come with this idea, it is a startup. And to develop this product, you have to have a design, that how many hydraulic pumps should be there, how much should be the pressure implied, what sort of liquid I need to apply, whether it's a oil or a kerosene, or it's a gas-based hydraulic system would be there. So if you apply all this mind, and if you come up with a product, That is the startup. And to refine your ideas at each and every stage, we have a support system available. We have designated mentors available where they will teach you how to have a position of your hydraulic pumps, what should be the size of your step, how you can incorporate the pressure, what should be the design of the step, everything. So designing, fabricating, development of prototype, and development of product, everything is available. And now for each and every requirement, you have a designated startup mentors available for that, right? So sky is the limit. You come up with the idea and go with the product. That is the facility available to you. So whether you are from chemistry background or a biological background, it doesn't matter. Just 2 months back, 2 students from my department, my neighboring department, they came to me. They were girls. And they told me that, sir, we want to develop a probiotic ice cream. Now they have developed it, so I don't mind discussing here in public. They have developed that probiotic ice cream. So this was innovative idea. Probiotics are available, right? But probiotic ice cream, it was a novelty again. So you have to have something which is sour as well as sweet. So that is tricky, very tricky. So what you can do, if you have different feelers, so in different feelers, you can have different tastes available in that. But the idea was wonderful, that probiotic ice cream. Likewise, they were from microbiology and they developed this probiotic ice cream. So come with an idea, we will help you out how to develop a prototype and ultimately product out of it. And if it is necessary, we will fund your idea also. So that sort of facility is available. We'll protect your idea.
In fact, sir,
we'll market your product. We'll teach you how to go international with this product. Everything.
Sir, this was wonderful answer, because especially when I've gone through your CV also, I saw you are by background a botanist. But while you were dealing with this answer, perhaps you were saying all the hydraulic and this thing. You might have visited, a फॉरेन कंट्री वेयर इन आपने बस में देखा होगा कि कैसे स्टेप्स जो हैं उस लेवल पे आते हैं, तो आपने टेक्नोलॉजी को भी देखा. तो द की टू दिस एंटायर आंसर इज कि व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट इज नॉट द नॉलेज, बट देन यू हैव मेंटर्स एट एवरी लेवल एंड आइडिया इज द ओरिजिनल. So idea अगर आपको आता है कि how you can make life of human beings, more easy and comfortable and safe, perhaps you get, this thing. So national development के लिए अगर कुछ भी
one more thing is there, madam. When you say the requirement of the nation, I tell you, we need to understand the requirement of this nation also. Yeah. We all are possessing at least 30,000-40,000 mobile with us, and after 6 months we don't like to see at our mobile. So we change after every 6 months. A country like India cannot afford this sort of extravaganza. I tell you why. The mobile what we use, we hardly use even the 5% features of that mobile.
True, sir.
We don't understand even what is there in that mobile, right? So each and every student, each and every individual is having around 30,000, 40,000 mobiles with them, right? So if you consider the total usage of mobiles, and if you make average of around 25,000, we are contributing more than 6 times to our national GDP to these companies. This is not our requirement, madam. We need to feed people in the society. We need to have a good healthcare system in our society. So what is my country's requirement? What is my society's requirement? That I need to understand. And the false imagination and environment what they have created through this advertisement, through the bombardment of the products and everything, through the availability and marketing and everything, we need to understand the individual interest. We need to understand our own policy and our own requirement. Then we'll be able to deliver something. Otherwise, what international market creates, that is not our market. Our market is totally different. Our requirements are totally different. And that is indigenization of Indian minds. So if you can understand the local requirement, the local understanding, and then your idea would be successful and you can deliver it for the long time. आज भी दिया हम उसी मिट्टी के दिए में जलाते हैं जो आज से 50 साल पहले मिलता था. दिए की डिजाइन में कोई चेंज नहीं है. हम उसमें ना प्लास्टिक यूज करते थे, ना हमने आज तक उसमें मेटल यूज किया है. ना हमने कोई ऐसी चीज बनाई है जो कि हम बाहर से लाते हैं। तो दैट इज सस्टेनेबल। और आपको साथ में सस्टेनेबिलिटी के साथ में आपको एनवायरनमेंट का भी बहुत ध्यान रखना है। प्रोडक्ट्स बनाते जाएंगे, उसका एब्सॉर्ब भी हो जाएगा मार्केट में, बट वेदर इट इज नेसेसरी, ये रिक्वायरमेंट जब ध्यान में आती है। मैं आपको बताऊं, कल एक सोशल मीडिया में बहुत ही अच्छा मैसेज चला था जो कि इट वाज आई ओपनिंग, आई टेल यू, और मुझे ये बहुत अच्छा लगा था, इसलिए आई एम शेयरिंग इट विथ यू। आई डोंट नो आपके पास कहीं आ गया होगा कि रिक्वायरमेंट हम जो बताते हैं वो बेसिकली क्या है, वेदर इट इज माय एक्चुअल रिक्वायरमेंट कि आउट ऑफ सम स्कीम और सम प्रमोशंस आई एम गोइंग फॉर दैट। मुझे लगता है 80% of our requirements are promotion based.
True.
Right? So we are wasting our national resources. I can give you one example because this is very important. In Ahmedabad city, every 5th or 6th store is a medical store now. Now see, we are producing our medicine as per the requirement or inventory available with this medical stores. Suppose take paracetamol. We are producing 1000 paracetamols a day, right? Now this is being marketed by a company to a different medical stores. We are having a tendency to buy the medicine from the same store, so we hardly deviate from our choice. You know, if it is not available, we'll wait for 1 or 2 days, but we'll buy from the same shop, right? So out of copying of the business, now this market is flooded with the replications of the outlets. इसकी वजह से ये हो रहा है कि प्रोडक्शन कंपनी को लग रहा है कि मुझे ज्यादा प्रोडक्शन देना पड़ेगा क्योंकि डिमांड ज्यादा है। एक्चुअल में इतनी डिमांड नहीं है, स्टोर्स ज्यादा खुल रहे हैं, उसके पास इतना मटेरियल स्टोर हो रहा है अंदर स्टोर के अंदर, और वो 3 महीने के बाद कोई लेने वाला है नहीं, तो वो क्या हो जाएगा, एक्सपायरी हो जाएगा। तो the resources what we are using, the electricity, the labor, the payment, the raw material, everything is being wasted. Likewise, the cloth what we produce, the food material what we produce, the mechanics what we produce, the machines what we produce, whether there is actual requirement or not. So that's how every 5 years we have a different trend. I tell you, क्या होता है, पहले 5 साल के पहले, आज से 5 साल पहले कंप्यूटर बहुत प्रिवेलिंग था। इससे 5 साल पहले आप जाओ तो मेडिकल फैकल्टी बहुत प्रिवेलिंग थी। इससे 5 साल पहले आप जाओ तो इंजीनियरिंग फील्ड बहुत प्रिवेलिंग था। आज बायोटेक और ये आईसीटी चल रहा है जिसमें आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस और मशीन लर्निंग और ये सब चल रहा है। Every 5 years we are changing the scene of this industry. अब इतना फ्रीक्वेंट आप चेंज करोगे तो इतना सिस्टम इसको एब्सॉर्ब नहीं कर पाती है, and it is very difficult to cope up with the international requirement then, right? So each and every sector need to flourish in its own capacity, like I told you कि अगर आप वृक्ष हो तो आपको कल्प वृक्ष होना है, पर आपको भरोसा करना है अपने आप पे और वहां तक पहुंचना है। आपको वृक्ष को कामधेनु नहीं बनना है, आप बन भी नहीं पाओगे, बनना चाहोगे बन भी नहीं पाओगे और वृक्ष भी नहीं रहोगे, ऐसा हो जाएगा। इससे अच्छा है कि अंडरस्टैंड योर ओन कैपेसिटी, understand your requirement, local requirement, and try to deliver accordingly, and then we'll be able to provide something substantial. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. जो आपने especially focus किया on vanity, that we have to be very very careful and be on guard so far as vanity is concerned. जो show extravaganza आपने कहा, and second thing was कि आपने ये भी कहा कि wastage को थोड़ा सा check करना है, so we'll have to check and balance, the wastage also. So perhaps then only we can meet, the sustainable growth. Sir, with your permission, there is yet another question from the same audience, that is Paulomi Sen Gupta. Sir, that many people prefer academics because of relatively lower work pressure. Because we are focusing more on manufacturing secondary sector. That is why the question here says, many people prefer academics because of relatively low work pressure. How can the particular group of people be motivated for the manufacturing sector?
This is very important but very pertaining question, I tell you. It doesn't matter whether you go for academics or production units or mechanics or any sort of industry, I tell you. You see, it's up to mindset. of a person. Even if you are in academics, you produce that many papers, you write that many projects, you coordinate and collaborate for many extension activities in your academic career. So we have all sort of individuals available in each and every sector. That doesn't mean that academics people are less pressurized or they are not performing or they are underperforming. I tell you, we have many examples where people are working day and night in their laboratories and they don't even remember what is the sun outside, what is the temperature outside. They go enter the laboratory when it is a dark and they leave the laboratory when it is a dark. And that sort of practices are available everywhere. Even if you find your institution, you will find many sincere academicians, those who are working day and night for the institution and for the sake of subject. So it's not like that the academic people are not under the pressure of delivering something. Yeah, but as far as the encouragement of production sector or industry, I tell you what we can do is we can show them the picture where how they can coordinate or accommodate themselves for that particular post or for that particular establishment. I give you an example. If you visit Rajkot or Morbi, you will find diesel and hydraulics are at highest, right? Morbi is #1 in Asia as far as the ceramic production is concerned. They are #1 in Asia, mind well. Now, you don't know about that capacity, right? So designing, again, delivery, product, quality, machinery, supply chain, everything is there. If you go to Kenya, Uganda or Mozambique sort of a countries, you will find our production houses from Morbi. They are selling multi-billion-dollar industry from Morbi to all these countries. So opportunities are there. You need to understand your own capacity and how you can find yourself fit to those establishments. It's not, only Google is the guru. Whatever we understand, we find, we just Google everything. Things are available at your doorstep, but we hardly exercise those requirements. You see, many times people ask me that there is no employment for the gold medalists in this country. I don't agree. I really don't agree. I tell you, every newspaper, there are 3-4 pages every day. People are asking for જોઈએ છે, required. But I need a job which is close to my house. Saturday, Sunday, there should be holidays. If I work or not, somebody should not fire me. My perk should be increased every year, every month. I should be suitably facilitated with the vehicle, pune, AC office and everything. These sorts of jobs are not available in any corner of this world. We are the only country who is expecting sort of establishment because we don't want to try ourselves. We don't want to go to that limit where we can challenge ourselves that, okay, this is what is I can do and this is what I can perform, right? If you have that level of understanding, I think it's sky is the limit for you. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can restrict you. Ma'am, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. No, sir, that was, I was about to end, sir. I know I can.
I can request you, please, take every question and you can email me and I'll try to answer.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
I don't want to miss a single question out of this conversation. So
yes, sir. Sure, sir.
All the audience, if they have any questions about me
sure,
or
sir.
the talk, please ask me and I will answer your question.
Yeah, we'll direct, sir, those questions to you. And now I invite Dr. Bharti to please have the concluding remarks and quickly we'll propose the vote of thanks, sir. We understand your busy schedule, sir.
It was a wonderful session, a very practical session as such, I should say, in which there was more of interaction and he was really very, happy to answer all the questions. He explained everything in very detail. What I liked the most was the interaction between the students and the way he was answering. And I usually, every time, what I appreciate about him is that he has a very practical aptitude in whatever areas he take up. And that is why I have seen him right from the days when he was the assistant professor in Department of Botany till the stage where he is now holding up the position of the Vice Chancellor. It is solely because of this attitude, this knowledge, this helping nature that he has. once again, thank you. I'm not saying much because I know that he's really very, very busy, and he has this thing readily agreed. I just called him once and he readily agreed to deliver this address. That is valued.
Ma'am, you are my mentor. You taught me, and you will be always my mentor. Thank you so much for always being.
That is your this thing, modesty. Okay. And without taking much of your time, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir,
Thank you,
officially
thank you
just
all, thank
allow
you
us to tender vote of thanks, and I invite quickly Dr. Nidhi Gaur. She's my colleague. Nidhi, please unmute yourself and please propose vote of thanks.
It was really a wonderful webinar, and thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion. We learned a lot from it, and we more importantly learned that we should realize our own capabilities and utilize it in the best possible way so that we can achieve excellence and help India to grow as a very strong, futuristic Atmanirbhar Bharat. And I really thank you a lot for guiding us so much. And I want to thank Annie. I have, because you have very less time, so I just want to give a short thanks to my to the Guj Coast for funding this webinar series, and to Professor J.S. Yadav sir, our provost, and our Dean School of Science, Professor Bharti Dave, who's because of whose idea this Guj Coast webinar series came up, and Dr. Polomi and Dr. Hiral, who are working as co-coordinators, and all the panelists, Namrata ma'am, Abhinan sir, Amish sir, and Rajesh Bhosle sir, who always strive to make each and every event of this university a great success, and all the technical team, Anuj and Kanda for the support, and all the audiences. And thank you so much, sir, again.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nidhi.
All the good
I
luck, all
wish
the very
that
best.
Thank you.
very nice day, sir. And especially we wish you safety and health also, sir. Over to Abhinan, sir, if he wants to reflect something, sir.
No. Thank you, Himanshu bhai, such a wonderful talk and sharing his wonderful wisdom and experience to the kids. That is more important. Getting all those wisdom and experience in a short span is very difficult.
Abhinandan bhai, you know it's a special bond between you and me. So anytime.
Yes.
You're most
Thank you.
So, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our audience link for opinion is shared, and the audience can, opine there and give feedback. Thank you so much.